A college basketball player best friend was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after a 5-day trial for a crime that was committed over 2 years ago. And get this, according to this trial, which we'll later break down, the prosecutor believed the man who provided the firearm was the guy who had the brightest future, the ticket, the guy he was set to protect, the hometown hero, due to his...
Y'all know the story, y'all know the story. It's just crazy. You feel me?
gift and dedication to basketball. The 6'7" small forward from Washington, D.C., Darius Miles. Darius was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. He attended IMG Academy, accepted his offer from the University of Alabama on a full ride to play basketball from 2020 to 2023 before his incident. While at Alabama, he primarily played as a reserve, appearing in 53 games with 2 starts. He was also a key figure in the 2020 recruiting class.
I grew up in Southeast. My grandma, she had an apartment in Parknella. That's over there, like close to Good Hope Road, Pennsylvania Avenue. That's like up the street from Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness! Darius Miles!
Darius Miles, you kidding me? Coming right to your living room. Oh, he just flushes it home. Gets up high. Forget hanging on the rim when you can get up high enough and just throw that thing in.
So, you know, dropping easy games.
All right, Darius?
Honestly, just learning lessons. That's what I really, well, us as a team usually look at when we take losses. Just learning lessons, figuring out what we need to work on to put a full 40 minutes of basketball together. And that's really it, honestly.
But here's the thing. The hometown star athlete has yet to go to trial. But now, we finally got a motive. And later in this video, we disclose that motive. Go over the details in this incident. Pay our respects to the victim.
This whole story is like crazy.
But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. On January 14th, 2023, Alabama men's basketball was hosting LSU. At the time, Alabama was 14-1, and LSU was 12-4. Approaching halftime, Jaden Bradley hits a first half buzzer beater as Alabama heads into the locker room up 37 points. Alabama will go on and win the game by 40 points, 106-66, making their record for the year 15-2 and 12-5 for LSU. To celebrate being ranked #1 in the nation, Miles went to go play in the evening with Davis, Brandon Miller, and Jaden Bradley. Miller and Bradley were Miles' teammates. Davis, of course, as we just mentioned, was the best friend of Miles, but was not affiliated with the team. They met up at the VI at University Downs apartment complex prior to going out. Bradley drove Davis to 1225, sports bar on the Strip. Miller drove Miles there. But during this 5-day trial, Davis had testified that the line was too long. So instead, he went to Moe's Barbecue, while Miles, Bradley, and Davis went into 1225 together and left once it closed. Miles, Bradley, and Davis left the bar and walked across University Boulevard. A black Jeep Wrangler set parked at a stop sign with his hazards on. Inside that Jeep was a 23-year-old mom of one, Jamia Harris. She was in the passenger. Her boyfriend, a man identified as Cedric Johnson, was in the driver. In the backseat was Harris' cousin, a young woman identified as Asia Humphrey. Now, Miles didn't initially stop at the Jeep, but Davis did. He danced to the front left of it, but then Cedric rolled the driver's side backseat window down. As Davis walked up, had a confrontation with Cedric. Now, testimony differed as to what exactly was said between the two, but Davis testified that he called Cedric out to have a fist fight. But Miles came back to the Jeep and pulled Davis away from the Jeep. Johnston testified. Eventually, the trio walked away from the Jeep. Miles had a quote, common effect, end quote, on Davis. Bradley had told police. Per testimony from 2023, which the Family TV will request once the completion of this investigation. Miles told police he saw a gun pass back to Cedric while at the Jeep. Cedric and Humphreys confirmed during this Davis trial that Cedric testified Harris slid him his gun after Davis told him he whacked people. Davis denied saying that during his testimony. Miles got Davis away from the Jeep because he saw the gun, Miles told police. Miles, Davis, and Bradley walked behind Hudstow back to Braley's car.
I ain't gonna lie, like I said, they said dude was drunk and tripping. Like you said, you know, they had to pull him away. But this is, I don't get it, bro. Like, why we always gotta act tough, bro, everywhere we go, bro? Like, come on, man. You with 2-3 college athletes, and you out here trying to fight niggas. Like, come on, bro. You drunk or trying to act tough? Like, bro, why we gotta act tough everywhere we go, bro? Like, this is wrong with the community, bro. We gotta act tough everywhere we go. We gotta be gangsters. Then you gonna tell me whack people? Like, come on, bro. Niggas be slow, bro. Like, what the hell?
At 1:38 a.m., Miller texts Miles to let him know he was on his way to pick him up from the strip.
Okay.
9 seconds later, Miles texts Miller, quote, "I need my joint. A nigga just real live got the fake," end quote. And for those who don't know, joint is a DC term for firearm. Now, Miller told the jury it meant, quote, somebody was trying to scare somebody, end quote. According to AEL.com, during the trial last week, an attorney for Davis asked Miller, quote, "When you received this text message, you knew Darius wanted that firearm. It's because someone was threatening him, right? Question mark, end quote. Miller had answered, quote, correct. Right. Miles got in the car with Bradley in his 2-door Dodge Challenger and drove back to Gray Street. Meanwhile, Davis went to, quote, look for the Jeep, end quote. Bradley had testified. Bradley had quoted, he was worried about the Jeep, end quote. Miles and Bradley drove to Gray Street to, quote, to check on Buzz, end quote. Bradley testified, Buzz is Davis' nickname. Miles and Bradley parked on the right side of Gray Street. Miller pulled up behind them in his Dodge Charger and also parked. Miles walked up to Davis and Skylar X's, which is Miles' girlfriend. Then the three walked back to the two cars. Miles and Davis then walked to the back right of Miller's car, while S's waited by Bradley's car. Dash cam audio from Miller's car made it possible to hear what Davis and Miles said in the back of the car. Testimony from Davis and a police investigator confirmed who said what. Quoted, the heat is in the hat, end quote, from Miles. Response from Davis, quote, is there one in the head, end quote. Miles had responded, you know it is. The conversation referred to a handgun and that a bullet was in the chamber. Her testimony from an investigator. A police investigator testified in 2023. He relied on this conversation captured on the dash cam that Miles aided and abetted a capital.
That motherfucker was on the dash cam. It's crazy. Like, that is wild. I ain't know all this. Like I said, I remember when this happened, bro. Like I said, Alabama was going crazy. You know, Brandon Miller was hooping. He was a highly touted prospect from high school to college. He was hooping. They had Final Four and championship, you know, aspirations. And I ain't like I said, I knew they said, you know, conversation was a little back and forth. You know, talking went back, you know, happened. But, you know, all this leading up to what they saying now happened. But I ain't know, like, it was called on dash cam, though. That's crazy, bro.
Murder. After Miles emerged from the back of the Dodge Charger, he walked back to his girlfriend, who was standing at the front of the car. Davis went a different direction. Miles
let the nigga walk away
and her friend off Gray Street to an area behind Houndstooth. Davis told Darius to take him home. Esses had testified. Miles walked behind towards Miller and Braley's car on Gray Street. Then he walked by both cars, continued to walk past the Jeep that had ended up right behind Miller's car. The Jeep did not have his headlights on. Johnson testified that he switched them off about 2 minutes prior. Miles glanced into the Jeep when he walked by. Humphreys testified. Miles also flipped his hood on his jacket when he walked by the Jeep. In that moment, Davis emerged from behind two buildings. Miles flipped the hood back down right after. Miles continued walking and disappeared from his view and off view of the surveillance camera. He left the scene and was not on Gray Street when Davis ran up to the driver's side window and shot into the Jeep. Miles' next known action, he and Exons picked up Davis, who was on foot after the shooting. Davis testified
then he went back to the girl.
University Downs, the apartment complex where they started the night. Davis testified he gave the gun back to Darius Miles. Davis also said he did not know what Miles did with the gun. Police investigators Brandon Culpepper testified that the firearm was found at the apartment where the group went before and after the time of the strip. The firearm was in a closet in a drawer wrapped in a Gatorade towel. So at this point, we know that the person who pulled the trigger had testified on his homeboy who happened to take charge. And we also know that wasn't needed because, according to the investigator who was investigating.
That is cold-blooded, bro. Just imagine you. I mean, oh my God. Just imagine you didn't pull the trigger and they still testify on you. It's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Niggas really don't be your homies, bro. Y'all want to play that tough gangster shit. Nigga, you a basketball player, bro. You at Alabama University, bro. Why are you... Like, don't get me wrong. Oh, my God. Like... the dude... Niggas don't be your homies. You gotta... You gotta close that back door. Can't get snaked by my homie. You feel me? Like, damn, he testified on dude. That's sick, bro.
Investigating this case, he determined that Miles was just as guilty because of a conversation that was captured on the dash of the Tesla. And to be point blank, a Tesla solved this murder. Nonetheless, on the first week of May of 2025, Darius Miles, the basketball star who's been incarcerated since January 2023, he just witnessed his best friend, Michael Davis, tell him to still get life in prison, all while he still wait for a trial date.
In Tuscaloosa will spend the rest of his life in prison after being found guilty of capital murder today.
Michael Davis found guilty by a jury for the shooting death of Birmingham's Jamia Harris.
WVTM 13's Jarvis Robertson is joining us live now with how Harris's family is responding to the news.
Michael Davis and Darius Miles are both charged in connection to Jamia Harris's death. Now, today, one of the suspects learned his next chapter. We did have a chance to hear from her parents after court, and they were very pleased with the jury's verdict.
That's crazy. They ain't gonna never see.
You know, it can go any way but guilty.
DeCarla Hurd has felt the heartache ever since January 2023, when her daughter, Jamia Harris, was killed on the Tuscaloosa Strip.
We watched 5 days of every angle, and it was gut-wrenching to me because I had 5 days of watching how my child died.
During the trial of Michael Davis, one of the suspects in Jamia's death, he learned his fate, life behind bars without parole.
That nigga
I am forever grateful to Paula Whitley. In the district attorney's office, everybody who worked on this, Brandon Culpepper with the Violent Crimes Unit, Tuscaloosa Police Department, I want to say thank you. They have made my Mother's Day.
Damn!
Jamia's stepdad, Kelvin Hurd, is proud of the jury and how they remained focused. He describes the defense's strategy as distracting.
The way he tried to besmirch Jamia's name, I felt that was uncalled for. It was extremely insensitive.
Her father, Johannan Harris, was nervous about the process, but knows the right verdict was rendered Friday.
Jamia is my only daughter, which I lost to violence, but justice was served today.
There's no denying the pain inflicted on both sides of this case. Family members for the suspect also have to deal with the consequences of Davis's actions.
We're not dancing around their hurt because I've seen hurt. I've seen what this has done to my wife.
Jamia left behind a small child, one that will remember his mom through the different memories of the heart, pictures, and stories family will tell. And that's exactly what will happen this weekend.
I'm going home to her baby right now, and I'm going to hug him tight. And I'm going to take him to see his mother in Montgomery. And we are going to spend Mother's Day in her grave.
Again, Michael Davis has been sentenced to life without parole. Former basketball player Darius Miles is being...
It's a crazy story.
Bro.
Just knowing all this could have been avoided. And knowing the backstory that this young girl lost her life because some dudes had egos with firearms inside parked vehicles. But knowing what you know now, fam, what you think the future is for Darius Miles? A similar sentence? A lesser sentence? And is it rightfully so? Talk to...
Shit, he good. That nigga testified on him. Like I said, I don't know what, like... Hey, I'm sad to say, but yeah, bro, hey, he good. It was caught on, bro, Tesla, bro, this is the second time a Tesla done caught someone, caught a crime going on. Y'all remember the Julio Fulio? They said a Tesla recorded everything. Yeah. Nah, yeah, he cooked, bro. That nigga, that David, he ain't shit, bro. Boy, that man cold-blooded for that one, bro. Like, damn, you the one that did it. Don't get me wrong, it was, bro, gun, but like, damn, you the one that pulled the trigger. And you said it was just as much as his fault as it was yours. Like, damn, you still got life. Hey, man, that's what I said, bro. Niggas really ain't your homies, bro. How you gonna do a crime with a nigga and then tell on him, testify on him? Man, but it's sad, though, man. Condolences to that girl, man. She lost her life. Like I said, her son ain't gonna never see her again, bro. That was the sad thing about it. The whole thing, he didn't even hit the dude, the boyfriend. He hit the girl. You feel me? Niggas just be doing shit, bro, for clout, bro. Want to be gangster, bro. Want to be, nigga, you a basketball player. I ain't saying you can't protect yourself. But, like, come on, bro. You gonna give it to your crash out homie like he had crash out. Like, come on, man. He could, bro. He could. Ain't nothing else to say, bro. But I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. You know, shout out to the Family TV for this video, man. He be on it. He be on everything, moving every story. We catch it. But y'all can do me a favor, go check out my second channel, D.SHELTON TV. The link's in the description. And I would greatly appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. We out.